AM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Sister Jamie from the locale of Austin. Thank you so much for tuning in to INCRadio, Texas. Today is Saturday here in, well, today is Saturday. And the current weather right now in Austin, Texas is a balmy 87 degrees. And for those of you who are on the metric system, that is 31 degrees Celsius. And today we have a great topic. And I think it's just very fitting because summer is literally knocking down, or it's just literally around the corner. And it's time to take lots of great pictures because the days are longer. You know, there's that the golden hour that happens between the time when like the sun starts to set, and that's a real opportune time to take like photos with perhaps your family or friends and things like that. But there is a right way of like knowing or taking pictures, and so today we're going to tackle that topic with my special guest, Brother Justin Tailoga, who is also my co-host today. Brother Justin.
Thank you so much, Sister Jane. And hello to all of our viewers and listeners for tuning in with us here on INCRadio, Texas Satellite Studio. Sister Jamie?
All right. So today we also have like a question of the day, but before we go to that, um, we want to make sure that you guys use your hashtags. Or we were still doing our hashtag challenge. So if you're tuning in, please don't forget to give us a hashtag of where you're from. Like I'm going to give you one right now. Hashtag Austin. So don't forget to do that as you come on the chat, and make sure that you put your hashtag out there. Okay, so today we're also we got some great questions, and I'm when it comes to photography, I'm kind of I guess I would I would call myself a beginner if we were going to talk about levels of like skills. I mean, full disclosure, I took photography. I took photography classes in high school. As one of like like an elective, and I also took a photography class from a prestigious art school in San Francisco. None of which has stuck for some reason. And so today it's so fitting because Brother Justin can definitely school me on some techniques in how to take like like really good like pictures. Brother Justin, do you have any like tips or like what do you enjoy about photography, I guess?
Where do I start? Yes, there's so many things I want to talk about for photography. Of course, for the sake of our viewers and listeners, we also have our question of the day, which is, what do you love about photography? So please send in your answers to our question of the day into our live YouTube chat, and we'll be sure to read them at some point during our show. It looks like we have quite a bit already. We Sister Aaron Domingo, who says, I like how you can express creativity and capture moments through photography, and she's tuning from Houston, Texas. We also have our own multimedia member, Sister Ard Sim, who's tuning in from Humboldt, Texas. We also have Chris, is it Krisha or Christia Gorospi, and she's tuning in from the District of Bay Area. Wow.
Hi, Mom. That's my mom.
Wow. Okay. So, hello, mom, Sister Jamie's mom, for tuning in with us today. And so we also have Sister Flo Guillermo tuning in from the Oregon Satellite Studio. Bang Aquino tuning in from Killeen, Texas, and we also have our very own. I'm pretty sure this is Sister Jill tuning in from the District of Silicon Valley, California. Wow. So so many new districts just here in the United States alone. So greetings to you all. And then we have so many topics. And as we kick off for this topic, we actually have a little a video segment that we want to share with all of our viewers and listeners as we learn just a little bit more when it comes to photography. This is presented by our very own district multimedia director, Brother Kim J. Manansala. So, Kuya Tech, if that video is ready, let's go ahead and watch that.
Hi, I'm Brother Kimche, and I'm here to talk to you about photography. So what is photography? Photography is an art and a way capturing images via light, or hitting a sensor, or a film. So today I'm going to talk to you about a couple components about photography. So we'll talk today about shutter speed, aperture, white balance, ISO, and focal length. Shutter speed. What is shutter speed? So shutter speed is a time of length that your sensor is exposed to light. So what does this mean? Typically, we talk in shutter speed is 1 over 60th of a second, or 1 over an amount of time that it's open to the sensor. So for example, in this video, you can see this motion blur with my hand. The shutter speed is at 1 over 60. But if I don't want any motion blur in my photo, I would have to up the shutter speed or make it faster. So for example, I want to take a picture of someone on a bike. I will shoot the shutter speed at 1 over 300, 1 over 200, depending on the subject moving. That means basically the sensor is only exposed to light for 1 over 200ths of a second. For aperture, what is aperture? Aperture is the primary way for light to get into your sensor. So here I'm going to show you what a aperture looks like. So here, if I come here closer, you see this is what we call a slow or closed aperture, and we can open and wide open. This is called a fast or a wide open aperture. How does this affect your image? Well, basically this means that there's more light coming in, less light coming in, more of the image or of the edges of whatever you're capturing to hit the sensor in an out of focus way, which causes the blurriness, or what we call bokeh. How does this affect your image? Well, this may separate your subject from the background, helping you shed the focus on what you want to capture in your image. ISO. What is ISO? Well, ISO is your camera's sensitivity to light. If you're shooting something very fast at a high shutter speed, that means there's less light coming in, and so your image might be dark. So what we could do is increase the ISO, and that will brighten your image. The downside is that your camera will become more noisy, or what we call noise is sometimes what people also call grain, and it might make your image look a little bit bad, and those are the side effects. Some people like it, so play around, see what best suits your story that you tell. White balance. What is white balance? Well, white balance is the color temperature of your photo measured in Kelvin. So how does this affect your photos? Well, if you want to set a warmer tone, a happier tone, you might make the temperature warmer. If you want to set a colder tone, you might set the temperature a little bit colder. And this will help you tell your story and what feeling you want to portray to your audience. What is focal length? Well, focal length is the distance between your camera and your subject. And how does this affect your image? Well, if I have a longer focal length, I could reach farther images, get them in the image. It also distorts the background. A longer focal length will compress the image, where the background and the foreground, the middle ground also gets all compressed together. And if I have a wider focal length, I can get more things in the image. It also distorts the image in a way that I think we call fish eye or fishbowl effect. All these things can contribute to how your story is portrayed. So play around with these and see what best suits the image you're going for. Thank you. That's all I have to say for today. There's much more to talk about when it comes to photography, but I hope these basic things that I taught to you today will help you capture the images that you want to tell your story. Have a beautiful day. Happy picturing.
Well, those are some serious lenses. If I have never seen one, my goodness. We have a special guest today, Sister Jill from INCRadio San Francisco, who just had a great topic, and they had like a latte art, which I think this photography practice will come in handy for taking pictures of your latte art. Hello, Sister Jill. Thank you for joining us.
Hello to Texas Radio and Sister Jamie, Brother Justin. Thank you for having me. And speaking, I just saw your are fun with photography. Funny enough, last week or not last week, but a couple weeks ago, we also talked about photography. One that I wanted to add, and I saw in your chat, was one of the tips that one of our panelists had given was to go out there and have fun with whatever camera you have. And our sister, I believe, Sister Flo from Oregon, talked about just taking photos with her phone. And it's still, she said it's a progress, but I think the point is to just use what you have, whether it's a phone or a mega lens like that, or whatever camera you happen to have, and it's out to just get fun. And the thing is, for our panelist last time, he gave a really great tip. It's start with what you love. So if you love taking pictures of your coffee in the morning, then start playing around with the different angles on that. If that's what you love, pick a ton of pictures. That he happens to love people, so he loves walking around the streets and taking pictures of people. Or if you love sunsets, go and capture all different kinds of sunsets. So, and that's just having fun with photography.
Yes, I actually agree with Sister Joe. Yes, start with what you have, because back when I just started college, I would take a lot of pictures with just my phone first, right? And then as I kept going, and I started to do a lot of stuff which required pictures for school, other organizations, other activities, and especially activities in the church. I'm sure there a lot of our viewers that are watching right now are seeing me do this, and it's making them very nervous. And Brother Justin, please put that down. and and yeah, and then as I kept taking pictures, I'm just like, I kind of want to go forward into this. And then next, I bought my first camera. And then it was definitely quite a challenge trying to work through it. Like, I see a lot of these buttons, these bells and whistles. So I'm messaging my friend Brother Vince. I'm like, Vince, how do I use this? Did I just make a mistake?
Yes.
But
I guess it's trial and error, right? Because for me, I think what I need to work on in terms of photography or taking pictures is patience. I just want to capture it and just be done with it. And I don't think about the composition. I don't think about the lighting. I
Oh,
just want to be done with it. And
oh,
so
I know this.
I think
I know this
I
well.
need to slow down and probably
I know this well.
you
So
know it well, right, Jill?
she'll just take a picture and move on, whereas I would take 5-10 shots or what, and try different angles, different, like, views. And she's like, let's go, and I'm still trying to take this one photo of maybe of a building or whatever it is that we're looking at together. But that's, I think, for anyone starting out, as you mentioned, as we just talked about, it's starting out with what you have. And with, if you were playing around with the settings in your phone, and just changing the settings, that can give you different views on the photo that you're taking. That could be a fun way to just get started. And then, the more, and again, if you're really into it, you really become more creative. And I think that's when you start getting a little bit more technical, if I'm not mistaken, right, Justin?
Yes, Sister John. And what Sister Jamie actually just reminded me, like, you were just like, okay, I just want to take a picture and be done with it. Believe it or not, if you really take your time when it comes to taking pictures, whether it be maybe you're taking someone's graduation photos, congratulations to all the graduates, by the way. There are a lot of graduations that have been happening. Or maybe you're let's see, or maybe you're taking pictures of someone who just wants to update the profile picture, or their LinkedIn page, their job profile. It really helps if you just take 10 extra seconds before you take your picture. Because, for example, let's say you're taking a picture, but then you see something in the background that you don't want there. Like, maybe it's someone that's walking their dog, that you don't want in a photo. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them being in a photo. That's fine, because more than likely you're in a public place. Or maybe you see, like, a piece of trash that shouldn't be there. Or um, or, or maybe there's something in your subject's face that you probably could have fixed. It really helps if you just take 10 extra seconds before you hit your shutter, because next thing you know, you're gonna next thing you know, you're gonna go into that situation when if you're an editor like I am, you'll see these things that you shouldn't have you could have fixed earlier, and you're just like, do I have to go back and do it again? So it really helps to take those the next few seconds.
I guess what I really need to practice on is patience. I'm gonna have to pack my patience because for some reason, like even taking pictures of your food, I'm kind of just like, oh, let me just take it, And so the sad part is I'm always having to ask the others, the other like, people that I'm with, having dinner with or lunch or whatever. Oh, can you send me your photo? Because like my composition again, like and just the lighting of it is just terrible. It's not, what they say IG worthy to be posted. So that's probably why I don't post a lot on any social media because all my pictures are terrible. They're just I need to practice patience. I really
Well,
like that's
Was someone else talking?
oh, sorry. Yes, and I was gonna add, it really is just um having, and everyone's sort of agreeing, just having fun with it and taking the time. And it's so true for those, to have that time to take, a few shots. It really is, and if you're in that mindset of, trying to get better, then you have to just give yourself a little bit of time, a little bit more freedom in taking pictures, multiple pictures, so that you get kind of the shot that you that's social media worthy, right? But it really is just trial and error and having fun with it. Not to rush yourself, give yourself time to, it might not work out for this lunch or this coffee that you've just made, but next time, but really giving yourself some time to play around with it and really truly have fun.
Whew,
awesome.
I feel like
Oh, so brother Justin, yeah, sorry, go ahead, brother Justin.
I kind of feel like we need a part two of this topic, because there's so many things when it comes to photography. Like for example, like what Sister Jamie mentioned, there's composition. That video we watched earlier that went more into the technical aspect, and then there's again patience that we uh, that we keep talking about. And and there's also quite a bit of our viewers and listeners that have also been talking about this topic. Like for example, we have let's see here what we have here. We also have a brother, Matt Talents, who's also tuning in with us for our who's tuning in for our program today. We have Gloria Canlapan, who's tuning in here from Austin, Texas, tuning in with us, and we also have a lot of brethren who are actually congratulating some our very own winners from our recent Band Together regional competition, which is the local congregation of Corpus Christi, Texas. So congratulations to our very talented brethren from Corpus Christi. And of course, all the other districts and local congregations who have participated. And then our very own multimedia advisor here said, these tips are very useful in capturing momentous events like today's regional band together. However, don't be too serious in taking good photos that you don't enjoy the moment anymore. So yes, again, patience. That's what we were talking about. Sister Jamie, you were going to ask something?
No, and I like what brother Archie said. Also, it's you have to also enjoy that moment, right? Because I think a lot of us also get very caught up in kind of maybe the technicalities of taking pictures. But you're right, you have to kind of be in that moment, and maybe that's why I just don't take pictures anymore. And I just ask everybody else for their their pictures because I have to agree, like that's something I definitely like to enjoy the moment, but I need to also pack my patience. So there,
You know,
that's my takeaway.
when it comes to practicing photography, and you can easily do this well with just a smartphone. And oh man, I should have set my frame to look like this. But there's these two I guess aspects. Yeah, two aspects when it comes to uh, photography that you can easily use in pretty much any photo, and that's rule of thirds and leading lines. Like for example, so you frame up into these three separate sections, right? You have And these lines, they create these four intersecting points. So you could put your subject within those four intersecting lines. That way, it easier draws whoever's looking at the photo to what it want to look like. For example, like where I'm at right now, if you drew the intersecting lines, you see that I am currently um, within the rule of thirds. I'm in the center again. I'm in a way, I'm still within the rule of thirds. And if you go to Sister Jill's frame right now, if for our viewers and listeners who don't know what I'm talking about, you could rewind to where Sister Jill is. So leading lines. Okay, I'll talk very quickly on this. What leading lines is, you take whatever it is you see in the background, and this could be anything, either a bridge, a tunnel, or in Sister Jill's case, the blinds that are right behind her. Those lines lead right to her subject.
Wow, we can definitely talk about this topic. And I mean, I think we can even do a follow up of taking pictures with your smartphone, or like just like tips and tricks on taking pictures with your smartphones, because that's the most accessible camera that we have. Though I still love a film camera and one of those instant cameras. I still have my very, very vintage one that they don't make the cartridge anymore. Makes me sad, but I do have my iPhone to capture moments. And so, no, we can definitely keep going with this topic. And we can definitely have another one where we talk about like kind of our everyday smartphone and how we can utilize it and capture beautiful social media worthy pictures. I think we are just about that time, Brother Justin. What do you think?
Yes, looks like we are at that part of our show. But let's go ahead and read some more comments from our viewers and listeners who are tuning in with us. We have our very own Sister Kathleen, who says, "Congratulations to Texas for winning a band together." Hashtag Corpus Christi. Sister Flor Guillermo says, "Sister Jamie, just take photos. You may capture your favorite and awesome moments." That's what I love about taking pictures. And we also have uh Galilea can I hope I pronounced that right. And she's tuning in from El Cerrito. And looks like we have our very own Sister Irish Dale tuning in from Killeen, uh, Texas. And again, thank you so much to our viewers and listeners. Oh, look, we also have Brother Russell Moran tuning in from Houston, Texas. Well, thank you for watching. And thank you so much to our viewers and listeners for tuning in with us here on INCRadio Texas Satellite Studio. And before we wrap up, of course, we can never forget to thank our multimedia advisor, Brother Matt Carl Talents, our CFO overseer, Brother Jeffrey Domingo, our assistant district minister, Brother Chody Sampson, our district supervising minister, Brother Gino Ramilio, our executive producer, Brother Emmanuel Endaya, our CFO coordinator and SEPSI CEO, Brother Angelo Arano V. Manalo, and of course, we can never forget to thank our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much for all your support in these programs, Po. And before we wrap up, Sister Jill, do you have any greetings and shout outs for us?
Just shout out to my mom because I know she was tuning in in our San Francisco, and I didn't get a chance to say hello. Thanks, mom.
Okay, all right. And Sister Jamie, how about you?
And I just want to thank Sister Jill for joining us from the newly formed Silicon Valley District of Silicon Valley, California. Thanks for joining us. And thank you all, everyone from Texas, for tuning in. And congratulations, Corpus Christi. What a great honor for you guys. That's so
Woo.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the districts of Silicon Valley and Bay Area on your newly established districts. Congratulations to you all. And again, thank you so much to our viewers and listeners for tuning in with us here on INC Radio Texas Satellite Studio. Be sure to tune in next week to INC Radio Texas, which is every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time, or if you're in the Pacific time zone, every 11:30 a.m.
That's correct.
Pacific Day, Pacific Daylight Time. And coming after this, we have INC Radio, Virginia. Thank you so much. We will see you next time.